Hello, everyone. Today I'm talking about a film I recently watched at the suggestion of one of my coworkers. The film is called Vivarium. It's a sci fi art house film, which is right up my alley. And I had some interesting theories about what the deeper meaning the director Lorcan Finnegan was trying to portray in the film. And so I wanted to give those from my interpretation of the film. If you don't want to be spoiled for it, I'll give a quick spoiler free review first before getting into it, and then I'll let you know when I'm going to start going into the theories. Straight out of the gate, I liked the film. I thought the production design was really good. It was simple, but it worked. The lighting and cinematography both fed into the atmosphere of the film really well, and the acting by the two lead actors, Imogen Poots and Jesse Eisenberg, was really good. I normally have a tough time getting into Jesse Eisenberg's acting, but this was a very different role for him, and it allowed me to really buy into him. I wish he had acted more like that in the DCEU movies as Lex Luthor instead of his usual kind of quirky type of roles. Um, Overall, the concepts that the film brought forward I thought were very interesting. Some of them they don't go as deep into as I would like, and they spend more time focusing on other other different things for a little too long. Um, but in the end, I would say this film's worth a watch. Even if you don't like it, it does create interesting conversation about what exactly it is all about. I'd give it a B plus. Now for the theory. So this is the end of the spoiler-free part. My first theory is domestication. Uh, the film shows how a domestic life isn't necessarily a good thing. They move into a suburban home. They're forced into it, but that's just part of the film. It's just kind of showing this perfect suburban life and just how routine and everything being the same every day, how boring that gets and how miserable they get. Um, Everything around them seems perfect, but they just fall into this daily lifestyle that causes them to miss those imperfections, the different forms of variation that you get in everyday life. Um, by giving the viewers a constant look at how they get up, brush their teeth, eat breakfast. They're working on digging this hole. They raise a kid, and then they go back to sleep. And every day it's the same thing over and over again. Um, and I think the film is really trying to push this whole idea that is that really that great of a life to have? And I think it's saying that uh, that suburbia, that life, is what you get when you settle down and you end up moving into a suburban home. And I think it's trying to push for always keeping your life changing. The second theory I have is about the purpose of life. Uh, it seems like the film is asking if the purpose of life is to reproduce and further humanity by stripping away all other distractions and just having the main characters focus on raising this kid. This ends up with them having a very unfulfilling life where, like, all their focus is just on raising this kid so that they can move on to the next point. And it ends up making them look for other things to focus on, like Tom, Jesse Eisenberg's character, starts digging the hole, and that just becomes his life. He becomes consumed by that because he stops wanting to put the effort into raising the kid. And on the other end, Gemma, Imogen Poots' character, um, she focuses fully on raising the kid, and they both end up miserable because of that. But the boy does eventually cause them to uh, come back together and bond again, though not in the most conventional way. Um, so it just goes to show, if like all that there is to life is reproduction, does it really give life purpose? Is that worth it if that's all that you're doing with your life? And the film seems to say that that isn't it, because all the characters do is they raise the boy and then they die. And then that was their whole life. They didn't get to do anything else, didn't get to live any other goals or uh, do anything really other than just focus on raising this boy. The last theory I had is about reflections, how children reflect back on who we are. Uh, when raising a kid slowly over time, they'll pick up traits from you, and you might not even notice all of them that they're picking up from you, just because it happens so slowly over time. But in the context of this film, because the boy is raised at such a faster rate, we see extremes to this, where he mimics both Tom and Gemma uh, in their most extreme moments of emotion. He's able to perfectly mimic what they're saying or what they're doing. And I think it's trying to say that kids in real life are also like that. They're very easily influenced by what the people around them are saying and doing, even if we don't always notice that's what's going on. So those are my theories about it. Of course, there's definitely more. I've looked into a few more of them since, but those were the ones I picked up on while watching the film. It would be interesting to see what Lorcan Finnegan actually was intending, what his thoughts on it are, but as it is an art house film, it's kind of left for interpretation. Everyone's theories about it are completely correct if that's how you see the film. That's what I think is good about this film. I think the way that it allows for so many different interpretations of the film, it really sparks conversation around it. And none of these theories I had are mutually exclusive, so they all could be true or all could be wrong. Who knows? Only the director, I guess, knows. But I think he did a great job of hiding the messaging behind the film. That was all I wanted to talk about today. Thanks for watching.